In order to save the world from the end, a vampire must team up with a werewolf and a witch. But there's a problem. The vampire is our protagonist, and he hates both werewolves and witches. And this is going to be a very difficult alliance. Our story begins with Erebus swooping down on a village in Transylvania, burning it to the ground and causing all of the villagers to cower in their beds. And we meet Vlad the Impaler, who is a vampire and also the hero of our story. Now normally, when a vampire shows up in a story, they're either the hero or the villain. In this case, he is the anti-hero, a very powerful vampire who has chosen to live in the mortal world and help humanity despite his own personal gain. However, he doesn't like teaming up with werewolves or witches, prefers to work alone. However, there's a problem. See, while he was busy setting the village on fire, a werewolf and a witch were busy making out in the forest. And when they heard the screams of the villagers, the werewolf thought that it was his chance to finally get some fresh meat. And so he runs off to the village to cause some carnage, only to find Vlad waiting for him. And these two were sworn enemies, these two species. So they fight each other, but it's not very effective because they both want the same thing, to kill the villagers. And so Vlad says, hey, listen, why don't we team up? We could get double the kills if we do this together. But the werewolf refuses and fights against Vlad. And just when things are looking grim for our hero, the witch shows up, and she helps him out and defeats the werewolf. But she wants to drain the werewolf's life force in order to use his power for her own nefarious purposes. But then Vlad steps in and saves the day, defeats the witch, and then explains to her that they need to put aside their differences in order to defeat a greater evil. An ancient ghost who is using the chaos and the destruction to regain his power and bring about the end of the world. The ghost is using the werewolf and the witch as pawns in his game, manipulating them to do his bidding so that he could bring about the end of days. And so the three of them team up, the vampire, the werewolf, and the witch. And they go off to defeat this ancient evil. There's a problem. They have to work together, and they hate each other. This is going to be a very difficult alliance, and thus ends part 1 of this Unholy Trinity. Stay tuned for part 2, where these three anti-heroes will have to learn to work together in order to save the world from the end. Don't forget to add like, comment, follow for more.